Hey knitting peeps, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lisa, aka Bo Peep Knits. I'm a new knitter based in Canada. I started knitting back in January, and so it has been some time, and I thought what better way to celebrate my first year of knitting and close out 2025 by doing vlogmas. And so we're doing vlogmas this year, or shall we call it knitmas. I'm wearing my Monday sweater by Petite Knit today, and I'm just so happy that it's finally the season to wear hand knits. During the month of December, I'll be uploading a knitting vlog every Wednesday, and I would really like it if you were to join me. My hope with this vlogmas series is that you enjoy the knitting content, but it's also a chance for us knitters to connect and get to know each other this festive season. I really feel so lucky to have this channel and the opportunity to connect with so many knitters around the world. And I know that it takes some time out of your day to watch my videos, comment, send me a message on Instagram and TikTok. It really means a lot to me, and I really want to thank you for being here. So let's get into the festive spirit together. I will be decorating around the house and putting up my Christmas tree, and I would love for you to come along with me. So I don't know if you can tell, but Bo Peep Studios did make a major upgrade. We are using a new camera. I don't know how the footage looks, but hopefully it looks okay. I'm currently just kind of hanging out in the sitting room right now. I wanted to do a little bit of Christmas decorating while my boyfriend, Mr. Bo Peep, was at the gym, but unfortunately I can't move this couch on my own, and so I'm just kind of waiting for him to get back home so that he can move this thing, and then we can finally have a Christmas tree. So I think that's him. False alarm, that was not him. I think I'm just a little too excited to decorate this Christmas tree. I love decorating. I love the cute little ornaments that you put up on the tree. I'm obsessed with the Christmas mice that are made of felt, and I guess I can tell you this story. So during university, I worked for a Canadian hardware, home goods kind of store. If you're Canadian, you probably know what store I'm talking about. And so every season they have seasonal decor that they sell. And for Christmas, they sell Christmas trees and Christmas ornaments. Every time a customer came to the store and they purchased these really cute Christmas mice ornaments, I would be so jealous. Like, you have no idea how jealous I was. They were so cute. I'd admire each one as I scanned each of the Christmas mice ornaments. And so I was like, you know what? When I am older and have money, and I'm not a broke university student, and I have my own place and I have my own Christmas tree, I will buy these Christmas mice and fill my tree with them. And so I managed to make that dream come true. Every time this festive Christmas season comes around, I'm always reminded of that story, and I just feel so grateful to, you know, be in a place in my life where I'm able to kind of achieve that, like, you know, that dream of mine. So I am on the floor in front of my yarn stash. I just finished reorganizing a little bit because I have some yarn coming in the mail, and I did want to pass along some yarn and knitting notions to my local knitting group. They do charity knitting for hospitals, shelters, and other vulnerable populations in the city. And so I don't have the time to participate in charity knitting, but I do want to contribute meaningfully in some sort of way. And so I hope that by passing along some yarn and some knitting notions, I can kind of do my part. I try to do a little mini de-stash after every single project just because I want to consume yarn mindfully. I don't want to end up with a yarn store's worth of yarn. So any yarn that I do buy, I have a project, a pattern assigned to it, and any yarn that I have left over goes in this box and gets de-stashed. And yeah, so I am probably going to drop off this box to my local knitting group either today or tomorrow, just so they have some time to work with the materials and knit something beautiful for others this festive season. So if you have yarn knitting notions lying around and they're not in use, definitely consider passing it along to your local knitting group. Get in touch with them, see if they're in need of materials, and yeah, let's do something special this festive season. Hey everybody, so I wanted to give you an update on my gift knitting queue. If you have not seen my 2025 gift knitting plans video, it is up on my channel, and so definitely check it out if you are interested. But if you do end up watching that video, you will see that I was knitting up the hipster hat by Petite Knit for my baby nephew. He is turning 1 in December, and so I thought that I would knit up something special for him. And so I was in the midst of working on that pattern in that video, but as you can see, I am done the hipster hat. And so I knitted this one up with the Estelle Yarns Superwash Merino DK in the color Gingerbread, which is such a lovely color, and it perfectly matches his jacket, so I'm really happy about that. I used 3 skeins of that yarn, and I had to hold the yarn double to meet gauge for that pattern. And so I really enjoyed knitting up the hipster hat, and I will definitely knit more in the future. This gift knit is done. I blocked it. It's still a little bit damp, but I really wanted to show you guys it regardless. I am currently working on a gift knit for my sister. So in the gift knitting video, I did mention that I wanted to knit up the Jew headband by November Knits for my sister. And so I didn't make too much progress yet. It is not looking like much at the moment, but I did start on that headband just because, you know, it is gift knitting season and I wanted to at least try to finish it in time for December, but if not, maybe I can gift this to her for her birthday in February. And so I am using the Lion brand Wool Ease in the color Blush Heather because I wanted to match the scarf that I had knitted her for her birthday last year. So it's a little bit messy, but I caked up 2 cakes of the yarn because I had to hold the yarn double to meet gauge. And I don't know what is going on where I have to hold yarn double now. Maybe my gauge has gotten more loose as time went on, but there's that. This is the Jew headband by November Knits for my sister. after working on the Jew headband, I will work on the Olga sweater for my brother. He had mentioned that he wanted a Olga sweater. He saw mine and I guess he wanted to copy me. And so I have to go find yarn for that pattern. In my gift knitting video, I mentioned that I was a little bit confused about the sizing for that sweater because I've never knitted a sweater for a man before, and my brother is taller and bigger than me. And so I was having like a hard time trying to picture what size to knit him. Like I took his body measurements, but obviously like the Olga sweater is a oversized sweater and my brother does like wearing oversized clothing. So I was trying to figure out what size to knit him. I think after some deliberation, I will knit him a size extra large, which will probably give enough positive ease for his measurements. But I do have to take into consideration that I will have to make a lot of modifications to that pattern. Like for example, I will have to add a lot of length in both the body and the sleeves because again, he is much taller than me. I also need to add the number of stitches when I have to increase the number of stitches when I pick up the armhole for forming the sleeves. So I have to do that because I was concerned about the arm circumference of the sweater as well. So I need to do that. I probably will have to do the same with the neck band as well because when I was knitting up my Olga sweater, it was quite tight. And so I need to make sure that the neckband is bigger. And lastly, I will probably have to not do as many decreases in the sleeve. That is all the things that I need to do to that pattern. And so I'm a little bit nervous to cast that on. I have to figure out the yarn, of course. You know, I am a little bit hesitant on my brother's ability to hand wash garments. So we'll have to see about that. I was kind of leaning towards using the Lion brand Wool Ease, but I am already using that for my sister's pattern. So I kind of want to switch it up a little bit, or I might end up choosing a superwash yarn, but I kind of have to look into some options because I will have to buy a lot of skeins and I don't want this sweater to be like $1 million. So we'll see, TBD on that pattern for now. So in addition to the Jew headband that I'm knitting for my sister, I am also working on the Un sweater by November Knits. And so this is where I'm at so far. I think that this is such a beautiful pattern. Well, I mean, you can't really see much. Like I'm on the yoke right now. But if you don't know, the Un sweater by November Knits is a raglan sweater with very high slits on the side. And I think that it would be an absolutely beautiful sweater for my birthday in January. So I'm hoping that by working on it earlier, I can finish it in time for my birthday. So the yarn that I'm using for the Un sweater is from Sandnes Garn. It's the Tweed recycled yarn in the color Magenta. And oh my God, what a gorgeous color, right? Maybe you can kind of see the tweed flecks in there. I'm still trying to figure out this whole camera situation. But anyway, hopefully the shot was focused. Before I forget, I did want to mention that with the Sandnes Garn Tweed recycled yarn, as beautiful as it is, it was listed as a DK worsted weight yarn, but I think that is incorrect because the yarn strand is actually quite thin. Here, I'll show you here. The yarn strand is actually quite thin, and so I have to hold it double to meet gauge with that pattern, which is, you know, going to make it a quite pricey birthday sweater, but I think it will be worth it. So that's my knitting update for now. Tonight, I will be grabbing some za with some friends that I have not seen for a while. So I might bring you guys along with me. We'll see. I'm still kind of like getting used to the whole vlogging thing, but hopefully you guys are enjoying this vlogmas episode so far. I am currently surrounded by yarn. I took my yarn off of my yarn shelf just because I want to do a little bit of reorganizing. My yarn orders did come in. I made a small order on Hobbii as well as a yarn store in Canada called Wet Coast Wools. And so I'm really excited to show you what I got. So I placed an order on Hobbii because I was really interested in trying out their new brand, Copenhagen Fibers. So that brand, they have a ton of yarn bases like brushed alpaca, silk mohair, merino wool light, and as well as regular wool. And so I was really interested in trying out their regular merino wool line. So I got 6 skeins of 2 different colors. This color is the number 9. And this one is the number 15. And so paired together, I think that they would be so cute for the Kuto Vakika Chica Cherry sweater. I think that this peachy pink goes really well with this slightly cool toned brown. It looks more warm toned on camera, but in real life, it's definitely leaning a little bit more purple. I do think that these colors are so beautiful together. I can't wait to cast on that project. I already have the silk mohair for this peachy pink color, which I will show you in a bit, but I do need to buy a matching chocolate, brown, plum kind of color for this one. From Wet Coast Wools, I made a Sandnes Garn order. I love Sandnes Garn, you guys already know that. But the store owner was really sweet and gave me a free sample of the Soak Gentle Laundry Soap. I've never used this brand before, so I am interested in trying it out. They also gave me this cute little progress keeper or progress marker, I think is what they're called. I've never used one before, and so I'm excited to add that to my stitch marker collection. Everything is packed so nicely in that box that I don't want to mess it up, but I did want to show you that I got 6 skeins of the Pure Gynt Tweed. I've never used Pure Gynt before. I felt it in store before at my local yarn store, and I thought that it was a little bit rustic, but maybe they changed their formulation of their yarn, I don't know, but it feels a lot more soft this time around. The color that I got is Tutti Frutti Tweed, and I will come up a little bit closer so you guys can see. I hope that it's focusing. This is a new camera, so I don't know what the footage is going to look like. But the tweed flecks are just so cute. There's multiple different colors like pink, blue, green. There's like an olive green as well. What other colors? Red, brown, yellow. Multicolored tweed flecks in this yarn. And so I am really excited to try out Pure Gynt. I am planning on knitting up some sort of slipover with this yarn. I bought 4 skeins, so sorry, 6 skeins. So hopefully that's enough. We will have to see, but I am really excited to try out this yarn. Also in my order is Poppy from Sandnes Garn. And this colorway is also Tutti Frutti. I just fell in love with these different like variations or variegations of colors. Even though the yarn is of the same colorway and the same dye lot, I guess just the way that they are kind of like spun in the skeins, it just kind of produces like a different kind of variegation, I think is what is called. But I am just so in love with these little bursts of color throughout this more neutral, like oatmeal kind of color. And so I am pretty excited to use this yarn for the November Knits Lola sweater pattern. I already bought the pattern. I just can't, I just have to cast it on eventually. But I bought 12 skeins of this poppy yarn and I can't wait to use it. So now for the hard part, I have to try to find room in these boxes that I have containing my yarn. I don't know if you have watched my yarn stash reorganization video, but back in the day, I used to just have like my yarn skeins just kind of hanging out on my shelf. But since the colder months, I put all of my yarn in these containers because I didn't want to have any creepy crawlers making a home in my yarn. And so I thought that the best way to protect my yarn skeins is by putting them in these containers with the lid. And so these bins are from IKEA. They're the Samla line. And so I think they're like $2, $3, not too expensive. So I have 12 of these bins and I really don't want to buy any more. So I have to kind of reorganize a little bit and make sure that I can kind of fit the yarn skeins that I just bought into their new homes. So I can kind of quickly go through my yarn stash. This container here houses the yarn that I'm using for my November knits in sweater. This yarn is a Sandnes Garn Tweed recycled in the color Magenta Tweed. And I love this color. This yarn was actually the first yarn that I bought from an independent yarn store. And I was just so excited. It was my first quote unquote fancy yarn that I had gotten. And I was just waiting and waiting and waiting for the perfect project to cast on using this yarn. And so the in sweater was it, and I'm currently working on it right now. I really like the pattern. I really love the yarn. And so I have 10 skeins of that yarn in this container. In the next bin, I have how many? 10 skeins of the Lenduna Eco Baby in the color pink. If you hear any rolling sounds, they're just the cedar balls that are kind of in the bins. And so I'll try to not have them move around too much. But yes, this is the Lenduna Eco Baby yarn in the color pink. And I bought 10 skeins of that yarn to knit the Clara blouse. And I'm still going to cast that on, but I think that is probably going to be a spring project for me. Also, in this container are 2 yarn hanks that I got from the Knitting Loft when I visited Toronto. And the brand is La Bien Aimée, and the colorway is called Souvenir. And so my plan for that yarn is the Evie Hood by Woozy by Celine. And so I am really excited to cast that project on. My plan for the Evie Hood is probably going to be sometime around maybe February, March. I might actually cast on that project when I go on my Asia trip, but I don't know for sure yet. So that is my plan for the 2 yarns in this bin. There is a little bit of room in this bin here. It's just mostly leftover yarn, as well as yarn for just projects that I have not been working on yet. They're just kind of dormant whips, I guess we can call them. This bin over here is my baby yarn kind of bin. And so I have some tin merino wool, some Eco Baby yarn in here. There's also some Friends cotton from Hobbii. Just some miscellaneous yarn for baby knits. Next up is my yarn that I will be using for my sweater 15 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. I don't know why my mind just kind of drew a blank there, but this is the Sandnes Garn Alpaca in the color Putty. And this is the Knitting for Olive Soft Silk Mohair in the color Cloud. And so both of these colorways are kind of like a light, like beigey, no, not beigey, kind of like a light creamy gray color. And I think that they would go really, really well together. I'm just waiting to cast on that project. But there is room in here, so I might be able to fit the pure Gynt actually. Let me try to do a little bit of reorganizing. So I am trying to move the Sandnes Garn Alpaca over here, and there's still some room over here. I think I can fit the Sandnes Garn Pure Gynt. Okay, here we go. Okay, and 1 more skein. No, wait, 2 more skeins left. Okay, perfect fit. So I found the bin for my Chica Cherry sweater. This is the mohair that I will be using for that project. It's the Isaja silk mohair in the color 62. And so let me just, sorry for the rustling, but I think that that this color over here will go really well with the mohair. I think it's almost the perfect match. The mohair is just slightly darker, but I think that is okay. So I'm going to put the yarn for that project in this bin here. You can't even see. So here is the yarn. Maybe I'll put it like this. Okay, so this is all of my yarn for the Chica Cherry sweater. The only bin with the most amount of space is this one. And so I might have to get one more bin. I don't know, but I'm hoping that I can kind of squeeze. No, there's no way that I can squeeze 12 skeins of yarn in here. Originally, this bin was supposed to be for my Norma sweater. Obviously, I don't have all of the different colors. Like I just have this green here. This yarn is the Double Sunday in the color green tea. And so I probably have to move this yarn to a different bin because I don't have all of the colors yet. And if you don't know, the Norma sweater is a color work sweater. And I think there are 3 different colors in that sweater. So I was kind of thinking of like this as the base of the sweater. And then the like kind of motifs would be in like a creamy white kind of color and a matcha green kind of color, but I'm not too sure yet. I might actually move the green yarn to this bin over here. This one is one of the bins for gift knitting. And so I have 4 balls of the Tweed recycled yarn in this beige tweed color. I have 2 skeins of the Sandnes Garn Poppy in a different colorway. I think this was like called green, no, not green, gray heather. And this caked up yarn here was for a beanie, but I didn't get a chance to knit that one up yet for my boyfriend's aunt. So I might move the green yarn into that bin. I'm just playing Tetris with yarn right now. Oh, I think I can do it, you guys. So I had to take out the skeins of the poppy yarn, but it does fit. I'm keeping my poppy yarn in this bin here. I think it should fit all 12 skeins. So let's see here. Yeah, let's do that. And then I also have these 2 skeins of poppy that I'm just going to maybe squeeze in between the other skeins. Oh no. Okay. Perfect fit. So all of my poppy yarn will be in this bin then. So this is the yarn that I have for my honey cardigan. Honey? I think it's honey cardigan by Knitters and Friends. I have been meaning to cast on that project, but I was waiting forever for the Isaja silk mohair in the color 63 to come back into stock. And so it finally did. And so I have all of the yarn that I need for that project. It is going to be quite the special one. And so I am planning on filming a project vlog for the honey cardigan. I can't wait to cast it on and share with you my experience knitting that cardigan. So I'm just going to do a little bit of rearranging and then I can kind of show you guys the final yarn shelf. So this is my finished yarn shelf and I have everything organized in the order that I plan to work on and cast on the projects here. And on the last bottom shelf, I have my bin of scrap yarn and baby yarn, just because I am not planning on working on any baby knits anytime soon. So it's just on the bottom there, but this is all of my yarn. I'm really happy that I didn't have to buy more containers to house the new yarn that I got. And I'm sure that once I continue to knit up my projects, I'll make more room in my yarn stash. So I hope that you enjoyed. I'm sorry if it was a little bit chaotic. I am testing out my new camera, and so hopefully the footage is okay. It's a beautiful sunny day outside. I can't wait to go out. We are heading out to go to my boyfriend's parents' house for lunch. Since I finished my gift knits for them, I thought that I would pack them up and gift them to them today. And so I just realized that I didn't show you the completed beanie that I knitted up for my boyfriend's dad. I think in my gift knits video, I was kind of waiting on the pom-pom maker and then I was going to create a pom-pom to finish off the beanie. This is the final beanie here. And as you can see, I used the Lion brand yarn with the tweed here to make a pom-pom for the hat. And so the finished product I think is not too bad. And as you know, I was working on the Sophie hood for my boyfriend's mom. I'm going to put it in a gift bag for them, and then I'll gift my boyfriend's parents these gifts today. I do want to thank the people who left really kind comments on my gift knitting video. It truly means a lot to me. I think I definitely was a little bit hard on myself. Even though I am a beginner, I guess, had a lot of critical thoughts about my gift knits. But, you know, I think what's more important is that I am improving as a new knitter. And, you know, I took the time and effort to make these gift knits for people that I care about. And so I'm sure that they will love and appreciate these items.